The other day, I think it was Monday, so a couple of days ago, I was feeling kind of down, with everything going on out there. Uh, it just kind of got me down. I was depressed and feeling, and I'm sure a lot of you out there be like, no, Tam, no, you're always so up and you're always so happy and blah, blah. You can't be down. Well, some of us are, we do. Every once in a while we get down. Um, just things impact us. Like I said, just a combination of things. And, because of everything that's going on out there, I had one person make some remarks and threaten me. And I mean, I brushed it off and, just like turned and looked and he ran away, like one of those things. Um, so I was kind of down and depressed. And, and like I said, it happens. It happens to all of us. It happens to everyone. And especially with everything going on now in today's society, just especially, LGBT and transgender individuals. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for us. The Trevor Project, they deal with LGBT youth, and I'll put the link down in the description. But they did a survey last year, 2024 national survey. Transgender LGBT youth. Okay, we're talking about ages 13 to about 22, 23 years old. About 39% seriously consider suicide. 39%. I mean, granted, the number's down a little bit. It was 41%, now it's 39%. But even then, 39% seriously consider suicide. And it's not because of, because the way, their orientation, their sexual orientation, or, how their gender identity, how they express themselves, that makes them crazy and all that. No. It's because of society, because of their family, the marginalization, the mistreatment that is constantly going on, all of the threats. And I mean, you come to an organization that has support groups and you listen to some of these kids. I mean, we're talking about 13, 14, 15-year-old kids that are kicked out of their house by their parents. And I mean, I know I've already said this, but, when you're a parent you learn, oh, we're going to have a baby, and I don't care what it is, a boy or a girl, as long as it's healthy. 10 fingers and 10 toes, as long as it's healthy. Then all of a sudden, your kid is like now 12, 13 years old, and you're kicking them out of the house. Imagine being 12 years old and having all of that come down on you, and the people that you feel love you, are supposed to love you unconditionally, are throwing you out, and that the only way to stop the pain is to unalive yourself at 12 years old. Think about that. There's at least one suicide attempt every 45 seconds. Okay? Now, I mean, there are things that we can do to lower that rate, be an ally, safe spaces in the home, create safe spaces in school, in the workplace, create safe spaces, especially like for 20-year-olds, 20-plus-year-olds. But for the youth, that 39% significantly drops if there is at least one adult in their life that they can rely on, that they can have support with. That 39% significantly drops. If they have one adult that shows them a little bit of support. Now, right, when I was feeling down, and granted, I'm not an LGBT youth, 61 years old, I'm far from being a youth. But I still get down, and you know what? I still need support. Yes, I do have, facilitate a support group, and, I do have friends, and that's the key. Who is your support system? And that day when I was feeling down, I met up with and I spoke with a friend of mine, and she gave me some words of wisdom. She lifted me up. Give her a shout out. Thank you, May. I'm going to put her website down in the description as well, amazingmidlife.com. I'm going to put that down there as well. Check her out. She is, quote, hashtag party in a bottle. That's May. But the support was there. And all of us, we need support. And we need to grow and live our lives. And this is not just for anyone that's part of the LGBT community, anybody that's transgender. This goes for all of you. I'm looking right at all of you. This goes to all of you, that you need support. You need to have at least one person, hopefully more, which thankful I do have some more people that I can lean on and that are there unconditionally for you. Because this is not how to live a life. I'm sorry, it's not. You cannot live a life in the shadows. You cannot live a life skulking. You cannot live a life of fear, of depression, of anxiety. And I will tell you, some people, ask me, like, what's your favorite quote? If you had a quote, what's your favorite quote? And I got a couple of them. Sorry, I got a couple of them. But one of them that stands out, especially in a situation like this, when I am feeling down, one thing that helps me is, here comes the nerd in me, from Star Trek. Okay? And I know some people just went, oh, God. Okay. Yes, from Star Trek. Because, after all, that's why Gene Roddenberry created Star Trek. To show us a future of hope, a future where we can embrace each other's differences and celebrate each other's differences. It's not a dystopian, post-apocalyptic future like Terminator or any of these other things out there. It's a future where we got it right. Humans, we got it right. Okay? And actually, the quote is from Strange New Worlds, which I love, with Anson Mount as Captain Christopher Pike. And the quote is that right up until the very end, life is to be worn gloriously. Because until our last moment, the future is what we make it. Think about that. Life is to be worn gloriously. If you sit there and you think about it, it's like, yes, up until our last moment, the future is what I make it. So I have to live life gloriously. The future, other quotes, the future, obviously we've all heard, that tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Right? Like you guys know, I was a paramedic. Okay, yes. There are cases, I had a 27-year-old guy in a gym collapsed. They did CPR on him. And it was like right around the corner of where my partner and I were in the ambulance. From the time this guy went down, they started CPR to the time I was sticking an IV in his arm was like 3 to 4 minutes, the perfect timing. And we basically emptied out the entire drug box into this guy. Flatlined the whole way. That facing things like that on a regular basis just makes you think that it doesn't matter how you live your life. When that big finger points down at you, it's your time, and that's it. So, right up until the very end, life is to be worn gloriously. Because until our last moment, the future is what we make it. So live your life gloriously. Our life is an occasion. Rise to it. Rise to the occasion. Find people around you to support you. And If you are blessed with that, go and find people that you can support as well. Bring them into your fold. Because a lot of times, family isn't always blood. Family are the people that we choose to have in our lives. Okay? Wear your life gloriously. Live gloriously every single day. Bye.